Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Jungle School Young Ambassador, Gombak. The podcast where the jungle is our teacher and adventure is our homework. I am Myra Muklisa.
And I'm Mama Ahnaf. So for today, so excited to chatting with the two amazing brains behind Jungle School Gombak, which are Dr. Nuzalifa and also the Major Kala. How are you today?
Alhamdulillah, excited.
Alright, two legends right here with us. Welcome to the episode 1 of the Jungle School, right?
So Dr. Nuzalifa, it's been pleasure to have you with us today together with Major Kalam. These two legends were founder and co-founder behind the Jungle School Gombak. So Jungle School Gombak is not just an education purpose, but it's also giving a community about the value of the culture and also the way of life of orang asli.
Alright, thank you. Dr. Nozarifa, I wanted to ask, were you the one who established this jungle school, and what inspired you? Whether was there any particular moment or personal journey that led you to create the school in the middle of the jungle?
Okay, I think earlier on we did mention about back then, I think it's 2010, we visited, I got 2011, I got married to Major Kalam. This is my husband, okay, Major Kalam. He is from the Semalai tribe. So I got married to Major Kalam back then, 2011. And then we visited the village of orang asli in Gombak. So what happens when we visited, kita buat ziarah kan pada the elderly, so the Tok Batin and all. Then they were mentioning about their predicaments, why their youngsters are no longer having the identity as the orang asli, and they are not practicing their traditions. To them, it has to be prolonged and it has to be sustained, because without the cultural heritage, the identity will be gone, you know. So when they express their concern, then we discuss with them. It's initiated together with the orang kampung. So myself as the founder and Major Kalam as the co-founder, we discuss, why not setting the school at the jungle, you know. So the jungle is actually the school. That's the way orang asli is practicing their livelihood. So this is our intention, to empower the orang asli themselves and the orang asal to share their beautiful cultural heritage to the general public, because not many people knows about what they are doing, why are they there, you know, the history and the background of orang asli. So we are here to pursue and empower more.
I guess it's a very informative words from Dr. Nozalifa. So I want to ask Major Kalam, sir. We know that you are from a Semalai tribe, yes? So how it shaped who are you today?
Okay, being an indigenous people those days in the early 70s, when I grew up during that time, I think a lot of our elder generation nowadays, we don't realize that how we are not being supported those days to become indigenous, because our country at that time was at early stage of independence. So we are chasing modernization. So everybody is trying to be lawyers, to be engineers, doctors. So for us at that time, education is about going out of the village, going out of the jungle, and start to have certification, you know, like PM, going to university. So we as Orasli were also being, I don't say it indoctrinated, but it's something like along that line. Okay, so without education, they said we are not going to be prosperous, so we have to go and study. But we forgot at that time that the traditional institution and traditional learning, you know, the culture, is also very important at the same time. So what happened during those days? Those orang asli who are being deported, as I can say it, or being transferred from a village at the age of 7, they are sent to boarding school at a very early age. So they lost their culture because at the age of 7 they will only live with the family for about 6 years, which is very young for them to understand the culture and learning whatsoever. But I was lucky. I spent at least 12 years in the village and playing in the jungle, where the jungle is my playground at that time. So I remember at the age of 9 something, I already went into the jungle with 3 or 4 of my friends, having my own parang, machetes, we setting up fire on our own. We survive on our own in the jungle for the whole weekend. Saturday we just sleep there, and sometimes we continue at night. We sleep in the jungle or by the river, and the next Sunday after 5 o'clock, then we go back to our house. So we surviving on our own from the experience, from the teaching of our parents when we were younger about how to survive, how to catch fish, how to set up trap for animals. So we survived by practicing what our parents taught us since we were kids. So that idea of jungle school coincide with the idea of jungle school that Dr. Nazaifah was establishing where after we get married, and also with a lot of other Rasli around Gombak. So we suddenly received that idea and we continue that.
Yeah, I guess this is the purpose of what we are doing right now is the podcast to preserve the orang asli culture and also introduce to outside the world.
Alright, one of the most beautiful things about Jungle School is how it centers the Orang Asli community. Alright, tell us, who is the Orang Asli and what's something about them that city people like us need to know?
Basically, getting to know the orang asli, they are the indigenous people. They are the ones who actually help us to sustain the forest. So kalau in Gombak, meaning at the fringe of Kuala Lumpur city, we have our beautiful forests or jungles. And people seldom know that the orang asli is actually pruning the jungle. They are taking care of the water. Sungai Gombak goes into KL, right? And then it continues to Sungai Kelang, right? So many people seldom knows that our clean water is coming from the Gombak River. So who are taking care of it? But the problem is when we have overdevelopment, there's a lot of illegal dumping there. So it's affecting the livelihood as well as the natural surrounding and the river. So these are our initiative whereby we want to bring the hidden voice from the orang asli. They are very concerned. We have to take care of our natural environment, and we feel that this is high time for us to do this podcasting to outreach more to assist the orang asli community and also orang asal in Sabah Sarawak. So Major Kalam, you can add more if you want to. Yeah.
Well, if we're talking about orang asli or orang asal, we are the descendant of Prophet Adam alaihissalam. We go through the history of mankind where we started our life. Actually, after the flood of Noah alaihissalam, where the Prophet Noah start to have his descendant from Sham, Japheth, and Sam. So what happened? We are being segregated because the world is so big, so that they travel around the world, and we are part of that indigenous culture. But as you can see, that every culture will be destroyed each time when they disobey Allah's rules, Allah's law. After they send the prophet to take to remind them of the law. But those community who are being preserved, Allah preserve them. It's not because they are not they are when orang asli not is 100% having know about Allah or having the shahada, but they are not But why Allah keep them in the jungle? Because they are actually practicing whatever in the Quran, minus the faith, Shahadah. That's all. They are taking care of the jungle nicely. They don't cut or the jungle just for a matter of cutting. They don't develop the jungle and destroy it. No, they are living there. For example, as you can see here, is rice. They've been practicing hill rice for the past thousands of years without destroying the jungle. But when modern human came, we destroyed the whole village just to plant rice. We want a production 3 times a year. So they ended up we have to put more effort, more fertilizer, which destroy the soil. But the Rasli didn't do that because they are cutting the jungle once in 2 or 3 years, which the jungle will replenish naturally, which following what Allah was saying in the Al-Quran. It's so simple. That's why Allah take care of these people. But our job is actually to tell them about Allah, because enemies is not about praying to the spirits. Okay, this is the misconception about enemies from a lot of people. Those people who are practicing religion, whatever religion they are practicing, they were saying that enemies are talking about praying to so many spirits, which is not. Enemies is about living together with all the spirits. Later I will talk about the Kerchang, where the idea came from spirit stories of the Asli. So when they live along with the spirits, which in our understanding as a Muslim in the Quran, the spirit are actually the jinns family who are living in the jungle. So the Asli has been living with them for thousands of years without any uh, disrespect. They were there for all the years and they take care of the jungle.
The idea is coexisting, showing respect to all the living beings, including the spirits lah. So people always have misconception about the Orang Saleh or indigenous people around the world. So this is our way to outreach so that people understand and showing respect, because Orang Asli or any indigenous around the world, dia punya shared understanding is actually we have to live together, we have to coexist, we have to share the food, we have to share the land, we have to take care of the animals. So whenever the modern people, the developed people is coming in, and then we tell them, oh, you have to be like us, you are not okay, you are not living well, and they are confused. Why are you saying we are not living well? We have better rice. We have more organic rice. We are very happy within our community. And that's the worldview. So that's why the Jungle School is here as a bridge to outreach. We're bringing the voice of the indigenous around the world to the general common public.
I think it is so sad to see these people doesn't acknowledge or aware of what the consequences of what they've done. So I think the next question.
So when you say that we need to respect each other culture, which is the city people need to respect the indigenous and also vice versa. So how you put the trust membawa orang punya voice to the another one? You say that to the government, let's say.
Oh, it's actually it's when you are showing respect, you get the trust, right? We are treating them as our family. So how do you respect your family member?
So basically, I respect member buat baik terhadap semua orang. So this the way that I show respect to them.
Tak kenal maka tak cinta kan. So you kena kenal lah. So we do ziarah. So when we do ziarah, we just say, hey, hello, we are here. We are here if you need us. And they will say, yeah, we want to learn more about you. And they are saying, yeah, they are willing to share the traditional knowledge because they feel that their knowledge is actually helping everybody to be sustainable. So the happiness lah, They are teaching us. They are very confused actually. They are very, sebenarnya kita rasa macam kita kesian kat diorang, tapi actually diorang kesian lagi kat kita tau. Sebab dia kata we look so stressed. We are very unhealthy. And we are the ones with the virus and all, kan? So we are bringing in the virus. Contohnya COVID lah, okay? So but they know how to sustain themselves. So that's why they are saying their way of traditions and their knowledge, your medicinal herbs in the jungle is actually preventing. Dia bukan curing saja, dia preventing. So these are the kind of like knowledge that we want to share. So that's why we are doing this podcasting as well, kan? To outreach more so that people understand more about the indigenous.
I guess we can move to another segment, which is I want to ask the Dr. Nozalifa itself. What did you remember the first program you ran at younger school, and how do you manage it, and how the achievement that you can get from what you are doing?
I think the first thing that we do is we get together with the Tok Batin ulang. We discuss with him, just ziarah bawa ni, you know, when you are doing the visiting, then you have oleh-oleh lah kan, kita bawa oleh-oleh. But actually the things that we do, I think it's more like a CSR thing. So people want to give something to the orang asli, but we have to ask the Tok Batin what are the things that they really need. Sebab banyak orang bagi baju-baju, tapi they end up baju-baju tu dibuang di dalam sungai because it's not matching with what they need. So I think we started off with assisting to get macam anak-anak orang asli, they wants to go to the school, so kita bawa bag with the stationery. It started with like a simple CSR family thing. Then I think back then 2018 UNESCO ESD come and visit us, and they were saying, yeah, we've been doing it like as our family initiative, like madam punya hobby lah. So we do it as a family thing. So it's a CSR family. So that's why the UNESCO recommended for us to set up a flagship project lah. So the flagship project has been based in International Islamic University Malaysia lah. That's how after that we consolidate, and then kita set up UNICO, kan? Kita discuss together, then the Sejahtera Center was set up as well. So this is our ways to link and bridge so that the academia, the institution to come along to assist. So my role as a flagship leader is to assist Major Kalam as well and the community to document whatever their traditions. But traditions when they practice is actually it's not wastage. They're not harming the jungle. Too, that's the misconception that people have with the orang asli lah. People thought that they are over pruning, you know, or they are destroying the jungle. No, they are coexisting with the jungle. Because without the jungle, they cannot live. So they will coexist.
So I think that people who watches this podcast, they need to change their mentality towards the orang asli, which is somehow orang asli lebih kesian kat kita berbanding diorang, sebab diorang lebih better dari segi lain. So, Maira?
Alright, I want to ask Major Kalam, if there's people out there that wanted to join this program, what do they actually get to do when they join this program, or the way they live, or the way
Okay, thank you. There are many ways to join jungle school activity, but at the moment we are receiving tourists from all over the world actually. Which, normally the tourists will stay for maximum of 5 hours. Some others stay for one whole day. And what we also receive family, 2 or 3 of them will want to stay overnight. They will stay at the camp, and we attach also the asli together with them so that they can talk, discuss whatever they want to know about that culture, for that 2 or 3 days and night, so they can learn better, understand better about that family or that tribe. So other than that, we are also training. This was my previous post in the military. I was the instructor in the survival. So now I'm training the pilots who are renewing their license, their flying license annually, and they need the certification of survival, which jungle school can certify for them. And also university and schools, they are coming for CSR to help the communities. So we advise them to participate, to engage in the culture activity, because normally university, corporate, schools, they only want to give. They don't know anything. Actually, they can receive things from the orang asli, knowledge, understanding. So when they come to a village, they will normally give rice, stationery, or they want to collect rubbish from the jungle, or they give shirt. That's it. Uh, they don't want to know anything about the culture. So we suggest to them, okay, you have to learn the culture of our athlete. Maybe you have to learn blow pipe, shooting, weaving, all these things, cooking in the bamboo.
I think it's more about like having all the various cultural heritage
So they
activities.
accept that, and they say,
Yeah.
oh, they never thought that this is possible. Because those days, orang asli will never share. Because the way you come to the village is like, okay, I want to give you this thing, okay, terima kasih, salam salam, that's it. So those are the days are gone. So we are going for a new way.
It's more like crashing into your home and like not announcing that you are coming, not understanding the sets of cultural values. So that's why jungle school is actually facilitating. Kita bantu untuk orang lebih memahami the cultural heritage of orang asli lah. Without that, I think then when we start to breach and then we actually menyampaikan hasrat orang asli lah, what are the things that they need, and if you want to help us, how do you want? But actually, we are actually setting in a different angle. We want people to learn about orang asli because people have to learn from the orang asli how to sustain themselves. So it's a two-way lah, win-win situation whereby they are helping us and we are helping them. So they feel much better. They feel they are not just the receiver. So they rasa macam, they are feeling inclusive. They're inclusive lah. No one is left behind.
A lot of things to the nation, but we don't allow them to contribute because we thought that they're not contributing anything, because our market segment is always in the health. Okay, you have to be a doctor, so you have to be a nurse, you have to be a pharmacist, without realizing that orang asli has their own medicinal from the jungle. Which all the drugs from store is actually mostly from the jungle. So why don't we engage them? Because they are the producer, they can take care of the jungle, and they can produce, they can give the raw material to the factory, and it's a contributing factor.
Madam want to give one good example like Major Kalam. Major Kalam is being considered, okay, we have 9 type of intelligence. We cannot say that anyone is not intelligent. So Major Kalam, the naturalistic intelligent compared to Madam. So I'm in the background is architecture and interior design. So when I got married to him, that's like almost the first time for me, a two different world kan. The urban is coming to the jungle is next to the urban kan. So Major Kalam lah, teaching us a lot more about the jungles, how to survive. We were very happy because our jungles is next to us, so we know how to survive. So the same goes with the orang asli, but not the urban people. So these are the kind of sharing of knowledge, exchanging of knowledge. So when people come to jungle school, so these are the kind of activities that we do to get to learn from each other. So they can create balance lah. So the orang asli have to coexist with the urban people. The urban people get to know the orang asli. So these are the kind of exchanges lah.
Alright, okay. Alright, let's be honest, right? doing something like that is not always a smooth sailing, right? What has been the toughest challenge you've had to face in bringing this jungle school in life? Whether it was funding, logistic, or maybe something to convince people that it actually can work, this program.
Okay, there's so many challenges along the way. It's 14 years, right? So to me, every step of the way is a challenge, but I take it as it's a good challenge because we are innovators, so we become more creative. It's a kind of like when we form it as a CSR family, then we feel that the more orang asli asking us to assist them so that they can be part of the jungle school facilitator. So we feel that, oh, we have to generate some income so that they can sustain themselves and that will improve their socio-economy. So we try to get the funding. So, but the way we do the funding is actually, we improve their socio-economy. So we set up, when people are coming to the jungle school, interacting with the orang asli, we have to pay the orang asli, right? So we have to give that sets of fees to self-sustain. So we didn't wait for the funding. We generate our own funding. So that's why we set up as a social enterprise. But along the way, then when we have to do research and development and having Usra in Action. So do you know that Usra in Action is also our CSR?
Yes.
So each one of you is actually 200 ringgit every session, and now we are having a session with you. So how many sessions do we have in one semester? I think it's like 10?
Yeah.
10. Okay, one section, 25 students. You kali 200, you kali 10 sessions, so that's a part of our CSR. But we feel the sharing of knowledge is part of our sedekah. So Usra in Action is the part yang kami sedekahkan. Tapi and of course we get the IUM student to do the sharing. Your effort, your small effort is actually helping us to gather and inspire more orang asli. So they are very, very happy to see the youth from the IUM coming to assist them. So they nampak lah we call it the sincerity. I know some of you are not like a kena paksa rela, but I feel that at the end of the day, at the end of the semester when you graduated, you can self-reflect and then you see, yeah, that small effort, you get the smile from the elderly of the Orang Asli or the Orang Asli community. So to us, challenges is always there, but we believe when Allah is guiding us, there will always be the light at the end of the tunnel. So we already won so far 21 international awards. We have like 8 innovation every year. So I think that's the part where the Usra in Action, IUM students also helping as well.
So is it achieve your jungle school mission and mission on the promoting the indigenous people?
Okay. Back then, 2011, Madam have done the master planning, 15 years of master plan. But we achieved our actual mission and vision in year 7. Maksudnya dah already. So sekarang kita like kalau ikutkan 400% lah achieve. And now we are embarking in our digital world, right? Podcasting. So we hope to achieve more. Actually, the focus is not about us. It's always about the livelihood of the Orang Asli, the indigenous people around the world. We are engaging with some indigenous people outside Malaysia as well, like New Zealand, Africa, Australia, and we hope to collaborate as well. So we are doing that.
Further to next segment. So I want to ask both of the speakers, if you could fast forward for 5 years, what's your hope on the jungle school itself?
We are now actually embarking towards setting up Jungle School Global. So harapan tu memang meninggi. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So but all along the way we always doa to Allah to keep on guiding us because only Allah is the best planner. So with that, we hope Allah is continuously guiding us, all of us who are participating and volunteering as well, the Jungle School Young Ambassador, you guys from IUM, as well as the Jungle School Young Ambassador daripada uni lain juga. So we are getting more mentors to come and assist. I think people are now asking to volunteer as well. So hopefully the networking will be bigger and bigger. We can replicate more jungle school.
Alright, I want to ask Major Kalam. For those who haven't had the chance to learn about this indigenous culture, what's something something important that they should know about their culture?
Okay, in my opinion, what they should know about our culture is that we are very resilient people. Okay, because as you can see, when I grow up, it's one story that I always remember what my great grandfather from my mother's side. I never met him, but he told my grandfather about the Krakatoa eruption. You know Krakatoa eruption? What is that?
Ice Age.
Back in I was back in 1883. The big eruption in Indonesia and
Volcano.
Krakatoa.
Volcano eruption.
Erupted in 1883. Okay, what happened was that eruption is so big that the dust came out, circulating around the world for 6 months. There was before, but this Krakatoa is about my great grandfather. When he was telling my grandfather about it, how he survived during that 6 months of darkness. Just imagine 6
Total
months
darkness.
without sunlight, because daytime is like very hazy because the dust. It's not settled, but it's traveling around the world.
You cannot see each other, right?
So as you can Google what happened in 1883. About 6 months of darkness. How my grandfather explained to my grandfather that they live in the jungle, survive catching fish and all the plants, because 1800 I can imagine the life during that time. Maybe you watch Makila movie, but that was 1834. After maybe or during that time. Just imagine life during those days. So they survived, and because of this, my great grandfather survived, and I grandfather there, and yes, my mother was born and I was born. So that story really made me realize that how important is resilience to the nature, to the surrounding. We have to be resilient, and because if you don't, then we will perish very easily. See what happened during the COVID? A lot of people suicide. Nobody touched them. They just kill themselves because they cannot get out of these walls. They are all being contained here for where
2 years.
for 2 years. So they jump down the building. See, just imagine that's how many cases, and even a few, not many, a few are actually suicide during that time. But because of not a confinement, but because of some other issues, but I will explain later. There are 2 or 3 cases of or actually suicidal story, which is not showing their resiliency are getting less. So that become their own destruction. So we have to overcome that. So before people know about Rashid, they have to know one thing: that resiliency is very important in their life. That's how the Dayak, the Iban, Borneo, the Kadazan survive, because they are resilient with their culture.
I think people out there need to know their culture way better. So therefore, they get to know and respect their way of life. A huge thank you to Dr. Nur Zalifa and Major Kara for joining us today. You didn't just tell us about school, you also tell us about the heritage of the culture itself and the orang asli.
So if you guys are ready to step into something different, this is your chance, an adventure that not only connect you with the culture, but it also give you some lasting memories forever.
Alright, until next time.
Until next time. Bye.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for the next episode. Alright, bye.